Welcome to the Classic Game Room Intergalactic Space Arcade. If you've been watching this show for a while, you know I like to play arcade games, but I also enjoy video games on the iPad and other mobile devices. But not every game is meant to be played with touchscreen controls. Sometimes you just want to play with a video game controller like the Gametel Bluetooth controller, which works with the iPad, iPhone, and Android devices using Bluetooth, otherwise known as Magic. After downloading the Gametel app and fiddling with the Bluetooth controls on the iPad for a few minutes, I was able to connect the Gametel to the iPad using Magic. And what a nice use of Magic it is to play Grid Runner with the Gametel. There's a lot of arcade-style games on the iPad that are definitely best played with a joystick, or in the Gametel's case, a pseudo D-pad, like those found on the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, or PlayStation controllers, among many others. I mean, you don't want to try to play Solar Minotaur Rescue Frenzy without a controller. This is from the same developer as Grid Runner, and yes, I highly recommend it. You'll find that the Gametel works with the iPad in a similar way that the iCade works with the iPad. They both connect Bluetooth wirelessly using Magic, and only work with games that support those Bluetooth controls. The Gametel works with the same games as the iCade, but not always in exactly the same way. Sometimes the button mapping is a little off. It works well with the games we've been watching. This is Electro Master. It also works with Hungry Master. The Gametel's biggest strength is that you can actually turn your iPad into a game console and sit it next to your television using the HDMI output. Sit on your couch and play games with the Gametel like a regular controller, using your TV screen to view the games. It works better with some games than others, but for games like Grid Runner and Electromaster, you can sit on your couch and play them as if you were on your PlayStation. The fit and finish of the Gametel is nice. It's not as good as a PlayStation controller or Sega Genesis gamepad, but, my hope is that their next model will just be built from a Sega Genesis gamepad. The D-pad and buttons work acceptably well. One of the nice features is that you can open this thing up and strap an iPhone or Android phone into it. And if you watch Derek's review on CGR Undertow, he uses the Gametel like that. The effectiveness of the Gametel depends on the game itself. For example, Temple Run supports these kinds of controls, and it works well with Temple Run. Although I would like to see some more button remapping options. For example, during Shogun Rise of the Renegade, the select button ends up as your firing button, which is kind of weird. For complete technical information, supported games, and places to buy the Gametel, check out their website at gametel.se. They are from Sweden. At the moment, I think this thing is easier to find in Europe than it is in the United States, but if you're looking for a controller that lets you strap your iPhone into it, or Android, or use your tablet as a game console, the Gametel is worth a look. Then you can play Air Attack HD on your HD TV and pretend like it's a Sega Saturn running in HD with a wireless controller. It's the Gametel.